Lucas Roehrig.
Yeah.
Have I got it right?
Perfect.
Welcome to the channel. First time guest. I've been hearing a lot of good things about you. One of them is obviously your excellent sparring with Jai Opatai, but we don't talk about sparring. But I'm saying that you're getting a little bit of a reputation for yourself as a cruiserweight at the early part of your career.
Yeah. No, it's good to be getting the right kind of recognition. And boxing is quite a small world, so people do talk. And it's great to be getting that recognition at this early stage of my career, and hopefully it just carries on throughout.
Lucas, for the viewers that don't know that much about you, I know you've probably done this 700 times today, and I do apologise for that. But just a little bit of background about yourself and how you got into boxing in the first place, any amateur pedigree that you've got. The usual, we'll do the run-of-the-mill questions first before I start digging under the skin.
Yeah, so I'm from northwest London, from around the High Road area. I started boxing around 12, 13.
Oh.
Yeah, so first was introduced to boxing through joining All Stars Boxing Club. So quite a renowned.
That's south, isn't it? Is it South London?
No, it's
it's
west.
north.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Northwest, so around Notting Hill. And had a couple bouts for them. But I was also, playing multiple sports as well, and stopped boxing around like 16, but then was reintroduced around 17, 18, and joined the famous Del Youth Boxing Amateur Club, where I met my now trainer, manager, George Groves, and was trained by the legendary Mick Delaney, Danny Rowe, and Brian, great amateur coaches, Will McDermott. And just through their progress, got into the England team, won multiple box cups, Tri-Nations, nationals, and then through there done a year at an academy of GB boxing, but just felt it was the right transition to, go pro. It's almost, you see a lot of on the other side, like United States, where the amateurs are going pro a lot earlier, not doing the whole 4-year cycle. And I felt for me it'd be also the right decision to go pro and make the most of these young early years, and to fully develop and fully find my way into pro boxing.
Sensible. Can I ask, you said that you stopped boxing for a little bit and then was reintroduced. What was it that made you stop at that point? What was it that pulled you out of the game for a little bit as an amateur?
I say a bit of like personal issues, family issues. I moved away from the area. I was going for a couple of things, but I think boxing is such a positive influence on so many young people, and the pool was too much, and it was an opportunity that I would have been stupid to miss out. Like, even sorry about that.
No, it's cool.
Even now, fighting on a Sky show. Imagine if I didn't come back, I'd be hitting myself. And I'll probably have been in a lot worse position than I am now. So you got to thank boxing. Got to thank the people, around me. People from Del Youth, George, for helping me, get into this position.
No, I hear it, and the thing is, it might not be now, but further along in your career, you'll probably look back and appreciate it even more.
Definitely. Yeah.
There'll be young fighters that'll probably rewind and look at like our conversation, other conversations, and it's like, all right, if he did it, I can turn my life, I can go back into it, because boxing is a lifesaver. That I will agree with you. It does help the kids a lot, gets them off the street. Yeah. It teaches, and I know you'll tell me this, it teaches discipline, patience, confidence, but confidence in the right way as well. So then, like you said, okay, I think I'm going to go pro. Talk to us about that transition, because I'm sure that was a serious conversation that you had to have with yourself, because like you said, it's, do I do this 4-year cycle? Is there anything at the end of it? Is it guaranteed? Do we know what's going to happen with the Olympics anyway? And it's like, you know what? Let's go pro.
Yeah. So it was definitely very exciting, but then it's something that you can't really overlook, because pro boxing, if you don't take it seriously, if you half-ass it, you're going to get hurt.
For real.
You're going to get hurt. So for me, it was, am I willing to dedicate 24/7, eat, sleep, repeat boxing. And I was like, yeah, I got nothing to lose. I'm willing to sacrifice anything for, my aspirations of becoming a world champion. So, I asked myself these questions and I looked inside myself and I said, yeah, I'm ready to do this. I got the right man behind me. I got the right team. And yeah, let's do this.
You know what's interesting that you've mentioned there quite early on, and I like the psychological side of the sport because it takes. Listen, you're the fighter, I'm not, but I do believe that the majority of this game is psychological.
Definitely.
It will test you. I call it like the squared circle of truth. You find out who you really are in there, and you've had to like analyze that 2 times in your life, more or less seems like that, where you've had to say, you know what, is this what I want to do? And now I've got here, I'm at this level, I'm going to progress and I'm going to become a professional boxer. And I hear this a lot with debutants, I'm going to be a world champion. Lucas, how are you going to keep that mindset, that momentum throughout your career?
Yeah.
Because everything's beautiful at the moment, the bright lights, the attention, the glitz, the glamour, like you said, Sky Sports. How are you going to keep that magic and make sure it follows you through your career, that buzz, that almost that hunger for always wanting to push forward and be better?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely staying grounded, never letting, all of this, being interviewed, the cameras.
The outside noise, yeah?
Because this is nothing. This is what matters is what you do in the ring. And unless you're winning, when you're winning, it takes care of everything. But, as soon as you lose, as soon as you've had a subpar performance, then, things change. So, I've got...
Quite a mature head on your shoulders, to be fair.
Thank you.
But
yeah. But I would say it's also about keeping the right people around me, and such as Georgie. He's been through it.
Correct.
All. And I think that guidance is what will really help me more than other fighters, and to develop that maturity and develop that mindset where, this is a long-term process.
For real.
You have to trust the process.
A career.
This is 6-7 years down the line where you'll be mixing it with elite fighters. So just trusting the process and keeping a level head.
It's almost like a note to self.
Definitely.
Yeah. You've got to keep it there at the back of your mind, like you said. There's good days, there's bad days. You know that. You've been an amateur for a while. You do have those, but it's how you reflect on it, and it's what you take from it, and it's what you do moving forward. And a lot of amateurs that may come into the pro game, sometimes it's not suited to them, and I'm sure you would have seen that yourself with certain professionals that have turned over before you, that it's not always suited to everyone. So what makes you at this stage believe that it's suited to you?
So it's suited to me because I believe I have the right mindset, right mentality, but also I understand that, pro boxing is show business.
For real.
And, fans, like you said, you have great amateur boxers that, win everything, and then we'll get to the pro side, and then with the 10-ounce gloves, if you're not able to punch, if you're not able to put people out on their feet, if you're not able to show that instinct to try to get people out of there.
I like that.
That's what
it's
people
like a
want
killer
to see.
instinct,
Exactly, yeah. People want to see that, like there's great boxers that are movers, can, hit and not get hit. Mm-hmm. But, the 12 rounds, that's 36 minutes of live boxing. You're in the ring for 48 minutes. It's a long time. And sometimes you get found out and you get dogged out. So you got to have that dog in you. You got to have, that mental side. And you got to have that instinct that you're trying to take the other man. He's trying to take food off your table. So you can't let that happen.
You can't let that happen. It's either you're going to get, you're going to be food, or you're going to be the one that's hunting the food. And I 100% get that. Another cliche question I've got for you, hopefully it's not too bad so far, is describe your boxing style. Like I said, I've heard the sparring stories. I know that you've got something about you, because the people that told me, they don't chat rubbish, put it that way. But for our viewers, give us a little bit of a hint into your style.
I would say I'm a thinking fighter.
Okay. Are you southpaw or orthodox?
Orthodox.
Okay.
Orthodox, not switch hitter. But I would say I'm quite athletic, quite explosive, put my punches together well, and fight off my jab. There's cliched, the right hand would take you, I can't remember exactly, but
the jab would take you around the world. Yeah.
So you know, as all the great fighters will have an amazing jab. George had one of the best jabs in British boxing. And yeah, that's something I believe as a fighter I have, and that sets up, you know, everything else.
Absolutely, and I like that because, like you said, the jab is the shot that can set things up, can bring people forward, can push them back, let them walk onto stuff.
Yeah.
You can bully people. It's like almost that first like stinging shot. It's like you get them thinking like, that's where the respect is gained. It's
Definitely.
often from that jab. It's not necessarily the backhand. It's not necessarily the body shots.
And the variety with the lead hand, you know, jab to the body,
Yeah.
jab to the head, mixing up the speed, the power,
Yeah.
you know, knocking the head back. And yeah, that's the first punch they're gonna feel, and that sets the tone for the rest of the fight.
Tone.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because it's like they've got to recover from that, potentially reset. Will you let them reset? Are you quicker with the follow-ups? Are you looking to counter anything that's coming back? So it's a beautiful art. I love the sport.
Definitely.
And I could waffle on about it for ages, but you've got your debut. What can we expect?
No, I've had my debut. This is my second.
Is this your second
Yeah, this is
fight?
my second
So when
fight,
did you
yeah.
have your first fight?
I had my debut December 14th.
On a boxer show?
No, it was a small horse show in Harrow.
Oh, okay.
Boxed,
I apologise.
Yeah, I boxed Joe McIntyre, former two-time.
And how did that go?
Yeah, stopped him. He retired in the
Retired.
third round. Yeah, so it was a good statement considering he was a former two-time English champion. You know, had a good record, 21 wins, 9 losses. So we rolled the dice and we said, you know, we want to make a statement.
the sixes.
And that's it. And yeah, that's throughout my career. I think that's what the fans want to see you in competitive fights. They want to see if you're actually the real deal, if you got that dog in you, if you've actually got the skill.
Dog.
So definitely. And yeah, this will be my second fight, February 1st.
Yep.
And yeah, it'll be a lot closer to home, Wembley. So hopefully we'll have a good crowd. And yeah, and I do believe I do have a TV slot. So a perfect platform to showcase for my second fight.
Even though I'll tell you what, YouTube's killing it at the moment because a lot of
Definitely.
us watch
Yeah,
the
yeah.
YouTube channels
Yeah.
more than like the mainstream TV
Yeah.
as well. I'm looking forward to seeing that fight actually. Your second fight, I can't believe I thought it was your debut, but
Yeah.
you live and you learn.
That's
And today I learned something new. You're sparring, and that's one thing. You know, like watching fighters, I think is imperative and really important to bring them along.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the quality of sparring that you get. Now, I don't necessarily mean that you want to get like hard spars all the time, because you've got to manage it. Some days it's technical, some days let's go at it. But what would you say, like your experiences with the sparring that you've had and how you believe that brings you on as a professional boxer?
It's great because, you know, it's almost like, look at any sport, you know, any sector of life, you always want to be mixing it with who you aspire to be.
Absolutely.
So you want to be rubbing shoulders with, you know, say if you're at a lower level to the champions. So for me, you know, mixing it with the likes of Chris Billum, Opataya, you know, other great professional fighters at this stage of my career is what I need, because
you need.
it gives me that confidence that in the next couple of years I can be competing against these guys under the bright lights. And it, you know, makes you find out about yourself if, you know, this is really for you, if this is really what you want and this is really where you want to be. So you've got to put yourself in the fight, you've got to put yourself in the deep end. And, you know, George has the belief in me and I have the belief in myself. So we'll continue to put myself through that fire, put myself through that pain and the hard times. And then in years to come, that will, you know,
You'll reap the benefits.
reap the benefits, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've seen what obviously Usyk has done as a cruiserweight, then he's obviously gone up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
We've got obviously Jai Opataya, who you sparred with, that
Yeah.
you know literally silenced David Naika.
Yeah.
Just really
Great
good fight.
performance.
Really good fight from David as well.
Yeah.
You know, he was in the fight. Unfortunately, Jai Opataya, as you know,
Yeah,
he likes to break you down.
definitely.
He's reading you, sort of similar to Usyk.
Yeah.
Usyk reads you for a bit, and then he'll just come after you. And I see the similarities.
Finds the blueprints, finds the
Yeah.
mistakes. And, then,
And like you said, you're a thinking fighter.
Yeah.
So that's something that you'll be doing. You'll be downloading that information.
yeah, that's one thing I learned. All the elite fighters, you know, they analyze, they watch film, they see what mistakes their opponent makes. So that's something I like to take from them, and I'm, you know, slowly developing.
Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure. As you can see, I can talk boxing all night.
Yeah.
But I know I've got to let you go and get some evils from the security. I don't know, maybe they want... Do you want the billboard? Do you want me to get out? Okay, yeah. But listen, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Not your debut, your second fight.
Second fight.
And you're in safe hands. So I wish you all the best.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Lucas.
People say I'm toxic, and honestly, I don't care.